Gentlemen, we watched basically every single game of the 2019 season. Snap after snap, good teams, bad teams. Some players broke out in a big way. Some players you want to see more touches. And that's what I want to focus on right now, Rotopat, is players that we think deserve more touches during the 2020 season.
It's Kalen Balazs. I mean, let's just be no.
Of course you open for Joe.
Josh accused me of stealing this player from him because we were all talking about him because how amazing he is. It's A.J. Brown. You know, it felt like A.J. Brown was getting much more involved down the stretch, which he was in a lot of ways, but he only reached 10 targets once. He reached 8 targets 3 times all season. He only had 10 total targets in the Titans' 3-game playoff run. So he reached 1,000. He had 1,000 yards receiving this season. Amongst every 1,000-yard season of the past decade, he did it on the 3rd fewest catches.
Wow.
So he averaged 20 yards per catch. This is someone, he's almost like Derrick Henry as a receiver. He's not quite just a beast after the catch. He needs more touches.
He's a big guy, 220 pounds. Why not give him 2 or 3 handoffs a game?
Totally agree.
I feel like only these true gadget guys, like kind of your Tavon Austin type dudes, really get the rush attempts, but why not give it to your beast?
He's a terror in the open field.
Yeah.
He's seriously like Derrick Henry in the open field.
He literally didn't run more routes than Corey Davis in any game until week 9 and still finished as the wide receiver 9 in PPR leagues.
Insane.
Absolute insanity.
I mean, I'm totally on the same page with y'all, but let me play devil's advocate here. Do we think it's possible with Mike Vrabel's mindset, with Arthur Smith's mindset, with Ryan Tannehill playing quarterback, that if the team comes back together in 2020, that A.J. Brown eclipses on average 8 targets a game?
It is. He established that he's that alpha talent. You can take targets away from Adam Humphries. Corey Davis, you know, he's a known entity at this point. We're not going to get more from Corey Davis than we've been getting. I think it is possible, even in a hashtag established offense. I think John might disagree.
Yeah. The production can still be there, obviously, without targets. I don't think we need 8 targets a game. I just want more on-field usage, like behind the box score. Yeah. As long as he's on their field as their true number 1 wideout. Like, Corey Davis is still a good player. Corey Davis is only 25. There's still time for him to grow in his 4th or 5th year in the league coming up. But I want A.J. Brown on the field every single snap.
He needs 6 to 8 targets a week, and as Ian said,
yes,
he's 1 to 2 carries a week.
Ian Harditz, who are you going to nominate for more touches in 2020?
I've talked about him a few times on the podcast.
Never heard it. Never heard it.
Duke Johnson, free Duke. Come on. 2016, 6th in yards per touch. 2017, 8th in yards per touch. 2018, 3rd in yards per touch. This last season, 3rd in yards per touch. I understand yards per touch is inflated for receiving running backs, but seriously, what do you want your NFL offense to do? Do you want constant inside handoffs into loaded boxes, or do you want someone that gives you the ability to throw the ball into the flats? Arguably, running back targets are the most efficient target to any position group because of how much higher they're completed, and I just have not seen any evidence from Duke, who, by the way, is the Miami Hurricanes' all-time leading rusher.
He was elite between the tackles in college.
Elite with a capital E. And all he's done in the NFL has been a great receiver year in, year out. And unfortunately, Carlos Hyde keeps following him wherever he goes and taking the job. Lamar Miller is someone they might, re-sign. Both Hyde and Miller are free agents. There's no sign that Bill O'Brien's going to give Duke this featured workload. But
correct.
All I see when he gets the ball is good things happen. And I just hope at one point we see Duke Johnson with the 3 down.
By the way, we're going to reuse the spiel next year.
Yeah, deal.
It does kind of remind me of like the light bulb conspiracy, how all the manufacturers got together, built an everlasting light bulb, but then we're like, wait, we need to make sure this thing's shorter so we all make more money. Everyone's just trying to hide Duke Johnson. I agree with you. I believe he's literally one of the most talented running backs in the entire league. But like you said, they traded for Duke Johnson before the Lamar Miller injury, and Duke still got 128 fewer touches than Carlos Hyde. It just doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen.
I'm just eagerly awaiting the blurbs in June and July saying
they're all in.
Can't wait for Duke Johnson to get double-digit targets each and every game this season, double-digit touches, and it's just not going to happen.
Once you get typecast in the NFL, it's especially once you get typecast as a 3rd down back
by Hugh Jackson,
it just seems like there's nothing you can do to shut it.
And Bill O'Brien, the 2 most ridiculed coaches in the league, and everyone just accepts it. But whatever.
I'll go now. Obviously, I can't complain about the Ravens' offense. I mean, it was the best in the NFL this season.
But you're going to complain about it.
Well, one, you get to retain both coordinators, which is amazing. But do you know what's better than one ball carrier that runs a 4-4? 2 ball carriers that run a 4-4. And that's potentially what is there with the Baltimore Ravens in giving more touches to Justice Hill. Only 17% of the snaps this season. He actually ended up in the final playoff loss to the Tennessee Titans, playing over 50% of the snaps in that game. I mean, the production just wasn't there on a consistent basis. There were some flashes in the preseason. But look, he had, I believe, the 4th most targets of all backs on the team, and that's behind Patrick Ricard. I just think if you can add another layer to this offense that was basically unstoppable, one of the best offenses we've seen in recent memory along the regular season, giving Justice Hill more snaps makes sense.
That is my two-plan blueprint for the Ravens to evolve further in the offseason. One, Miles Boykin takes Seth Roberts' spot as Seth Roberts walks away in free agency. And two, getting Justice Hill involved. However, I'll take Justice Hill being an analogy for getting running backs involved, because the Ravens targeted their running backs at the 5th lowest rate in the league. Lamar Jackson's just not a check down guy. So if we can get Justice Hill in and then also get their running backs more passes in general, I'll take that as a win as well.
Justice Hill, future Kenneth Dixon.
Well, but Pat, I understand we can joke about it, but this is also a team that believes in him a little bit. They spent a 4th-round pick on him.
I was half joking about the typecast. Once you get cast as a 3rd down back, it's just you just don't break out of it. And I already feel like Justice Hill might be stuck in the Duke Johnson vortex. Being a guy who's not going to get. I mean, Mark Ingram has a 3-year contract. And like we said, Lamar Jackson doesn't check down to running back. I could just quickly see this becoming another annual thing. Why isn't Justice Hill getting more?
And some of it's on Justice Hill. I think we saw this with Darwin Thompson, too. Just because you're this quick running back that can catch, you got to pass block, and they're not going to put you on the field if you can. Mark Ingram definitely knows how to pass block.
I'll tell you this surprised me. Positive pass blocking grade from PFF this season in the 75th percentile.
How many times do you do it, though?
Not much. I think 15. John David, want to close us out with this topic?
Yeah, and it's because Mecole Hardman, simply put, deserves more touches. 6 touchdowns on 26 catches, 13.1 yards per target. And the best part about this is that there's an easy path here. Not only is Demarcus Robinson likely walking away as an unrestricted free agent this offseason, Sammy Watkins, $21 million next year, is the highest cap hit among any receiver in the league.
Get him out.
As they attempt to slowly give Patrick Mahomes his whopping $250 million, whatever it is, they literally have no choice but to rid themselves of Sammy Watkins. Mecole Hardman got 4 targets, exceeded 4 targets in 4 games last year, and it was all those games that Tyreek Hill missed. And he averaged 3 catches, 63 yards, and half a touchdown in those games.
Here's my plan for the Chiefs. Keep Sammy Watkins for week 1 and then cut him, because he's going to score three times in
sense.
week 1.
Just like fantasy teams, yes.
But I'm serious. I'm with you, because Mecole Hardman has that Ted Ginn speed. When he puts his head down and just goes, he's playing at a different speed than everyone else on the field, and we saw it.
Except he's
the
not
Tennessee
even the fastest
game.
receiver in his own receiver corps.
Well, but
it'd be a close race, which is crazy.
It would be, and we saw it against the Tennessee Titans in the regular season, where Patrick Mahomes had this jump pass, and Hardman brought it down in traffic, and then it just is gone. This is a perfect offense for these players who might not be refined at the receiver position, but you have a quarterback now who's showing off so much of his mobility in Patrick Mahomes that then just allows them to run and sprint and get open for 4 seconds. He's going to do it.
It's so true, because Pat Mahomes puts the ball places other quarterbacks won't. He attempts passes other quarterbacks won't. So he's elite at finding people in space. And
And he ran 90% of his routes from the slot in college. So getting rid of Sammy Watkins already puts him in his position.
On Josh, to your point real quickly, that's what makes the Chiefs offense so ridiculous. Mahomes can make any throw on the field, any play happen. But with that said, Reed is so good at scheming that we always see them rank at the top of the league in yards after the catch per reception, because they're always put in a good position to succeed.
Those are the players we hope see more touches in 2020. For the rest of our videos from here, Studio 2, go check out Rotoworld.com and NBCSports.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.